Oh, it looks dark. I don't want to put that fucking light on. If I do, I'm putting my sunglasses on. I'm talking on the thing again. I feel like fucking Turtle Boy with the fucking technical issues. So I just wanted to go live. I was watching the boys and I can't sleep. I don't know why. Um because I just started. There's another case I'm looking at. It's the Maura Murray case. Um she was found, I think it was on campus UMass. Um I forget. I wrote, hold on. Where is it? I can't. I just what did I do with it? Yeah, her name's it was back in 2003, I think. Let me see. Hang on. I have a document. I just Maura Murray. She on Monday. This is like what I've gathered so far. Like looking through stuff. On Monday, June 18th, 2007, she was crying at her workplace in the Melville dormitory. And I guess there was like a kind of puzzling party or like something weird. It was taking place at another UMass dorm, and around like 12:20, 12:30, I guess this kid of Dorchester, he was found in the middle of the road, and he was unconscious there, and it was about like a mile and a half from where Maura was working. And he like says he can barely remember anything, and it just it like the whole it's like the judge, I mean, denied an evidentiary hearing. It almost sounds like, and they couldn't get any records, so I'm gonna try to file a FOIA on that one. It's kind of bright, isn't it? My eyes can't take light. All right, we left off on page 424. Here goes. From Jason Dickey to Brian Tully. O'Keefe, case of concern, send secure, is what the subject says. I got email, sorry, needed to be connected to a network. Jason Dickey, from Jason Dickey to Tully. I didn't get anything with this. And then what's the big, I don't know, Julie, but she had sent a request to the Canton chief, which was then sent to me. Who? It doesn't say. That's weird. It doesn't say what the concern is. I mean, they're like really they bopped Aiden with freaking with the whole logging into the mass courts, because I think he was using Kevin Reddington's name to do that. Let me see if my neighbor's up. I mean, they live like, but they have, it's an 80-year-old lady, and this kid that I went to school with, actually I know both of them, and the woman's like 87, and they live there with her, and it's just fucking weird. And sometimes they're out there fighting at night, like trying to find quarters so they could go get beers, and it's just a fucking nightmare. So I was just looking to see if they were out there because I know they listening. All right, so from Kevin O'Hara to Lally. Good morning. I have attached a copy of our daily admin journey and the roster of members who responded. There are no other reports or handwritten notes associated with this case. At the request of Sergeant Buchanan, I have also attached the following items: the cruiser geotab of the first responding members, myself and Trooper Busole. Have we heard that name yet? I don't think I've heard that name. Myself and Trooper Busole, and the time. I gotta write that down. BEAUSOLIE. The guys were over there watching, talking about Eddie O'Brien and stuff, and I already know Eddie's innocent, so I just decided to come over here and do this because I cannot fucking sleep at all. I've attached a copy of our daily admin journal and the roster of members who responded. There are no other reports or handwritten notes associated with this case. At the request of Sergeant Buchanan, I have also attached the following items: the cruiser geotab of the first responding members and the time-stamped alert sent out to the team requesting a response. Raw data. The items recovered were marked by Sergeant that's a new one too. Sergeant Louise, Luise, using a handheld Garmin GPS map 64ST. That data was then uploaded to our mapping software and is shown in the maps previously provided. As standing operating procedure, previous tracks and waypoints are cleared prior to any new search so that data is no longer on his GPS. We can provide the GPS for inspection if needed. Wait a minute. I can also provide a GPX or KML file of the data from our mapping software, which will need to be viewed in a mapping program. If uploaded properly by the receiving party, it can be sent as an attachment, or we can meet in person. What? Shut off. Whose GPS? That's fucking weird. Then Lally replies to O'Hara, "Hey Kevin, just regarding a follow-up discovery request that I had received from Defense Counsel on this case in regard to CERT. They are asking for the raw data associated with the CERT team's mapping of items of evidence recovered from 34 Fairview. In addition, they are seeking any reports, photographs, handwritten notes, and mapping mapping documenting the recovery of taillight pieces from 34 Fairview. I believe that you have previously provided me with reports and stated that CERT did not take and thus has no photos. So it would be the last two listed items above that I'm inquiring about. Thanks so much, Adam. And he's going to freaking shop in Hank's pencils. I can't believe I'm up this fucking late. Okay, so good afternoon, O'Hara, Lally. So, good afternoon. CERT did not take any photos of items recovered. Thank you, O'Hara. Lally Tully. I received a request from this defendant's attorney related to all photos taken of items recovered in the search of snowbanks in this case, including any metadata for the photos. Kevin, this is the search in the now Canton on 1/29/22. I don't believe CERT took any photos, but just wanted to confirm with you. Thanks, Adam. And then it shows something with Trooper Boussolet's duration stop 1 day, 9 hours. Total driving 1 hour. What's he trying to say? Where the fuck? What are they trying to hide? Yeah, these are the wrong ones. Why do I always do that? These are the right ones. The fuck? Personnel status report. Mission name. Canton evidence search. Elapsed time. 1 year, 31 weeks, 4 days. Yeah. Oh, it says all the cops that were there. Bearden. Boussolet. Something ain't adding up here. Something's not adding up. The math ain't mathin'. On scene 1717. It's like same start time, end time. It's all the same shit. And then it's Canton search. This is Sergeant Simpson. We're looking for members' availability to respond to Canton for evidence search involving the death of an off-duty police officer. We do not have the green light yet. Just looking to establish a list of members for when we are told to respond. Repeating, this is Sergeant Simpson. We are looking for members' availability to respond to Canton for evidence search involving the death. Yeah, I said that twice. Excuse me. We do not have the green light yet. What? 129. What's 14? Because I can't do it. Oh, wait, so 12, 13, so it would have been 2 in the afternoon on the 2 in the afternoon on that day. Members responding to Canton, please report to Lieutenant O'Hara at 34 Fairview, Canton. Bring a shovel and maybe a broom. Are you fucking kidding me? Got something in my fucking eyeball, yo. I hate when that happens. All right. Alert message. This is Sergeant Simpson. The following members start heading to Canton to report to Lieutenant O'Hara. Sergeants Louise, Carrere, O'Brien, Covino, Buselli, Viscardo. What? That's like fucking, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. This don't make no fucking sense, yo. Administrative Journal extract. 1432 hours in Norfolk SPDU requested assistance with an evidence search with ongoing investigation in Canton. 1453 hours alert sent to check on CERT member availability and to have members begin clearing cruisers and driveways in case of activation. My God. Alert, many areas have received over 20 inches of snow. Really? Sir activated. Members on OT as soon as they begin clearing snow. See mission report for full details. Lieutenant O'Hara completed Ram's entry, mission manager report, and notification emails. You know what? I gotta move this because I can't read like that. All right. That's better because then it doesn't look like I'm freaking staring at. All right. Um, another one from Tully to O'Hara. Good morning. No, from Tully to O'Hara. Adam, I would like to talk to MSP Legal about the AVL records. Let's discuss Monday. And good morning. I've attached a copy of our daily admin journal and the roster of members who responded. There are no other reports or handwritten notes associated with the case. At the request of Sergeant Buchanan, I have also attached the following items: the cruiser geotab of the first responding members, myself and Trooper Boussalet, and the time-stamped alerts sent out to the team requesting a response. raw data. The items recovered were marked by Sergeant Louise using a handheld Garmin GPS map, 61st, 60 whatever. That data was then uploaded to our mapping software and is shown in the maps previously provided. As standard operating procedure, previous tracks and waypoints are cleared prior to any new search so that data is no longer on GPS. Wait a minute, what? As standard operating procedure, previous tracks and waypoints are cleared prior to any new search so that data is no longer on his GPS. The fuck? We could provide, and they're like saying Karen was like hiding shit. We can provide the GPS for inspection if needed. I could also provide a GPX or a KML file of the data from our mapping software, which will need to be viewed in a mapping program. I gotta take off his jacket. I got 3 of these. Like, they're all different. See, CVS. I love them. As standing operating procedure, okay, we can provide the GPS for inspection if needed. I could also provide a GPX or a KML file of the data from our mapping software, which will need to be viewed in the mapping program. If uploaded properly by the receiving party, it can be sent as an attachment or we can meet in person. I think we got that one already. Morrissey. All he writes is like card, print. Who's this one from? I don't know. It says on see below. So more from Morrissey to Traub. Hey David, I'm writing on the propriety of the Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey's 825 video statement on the Karen Reed case. Would DA Morrissey be available Monday for a 10-15 minute phone interview to discuss whether his statement was proper in terms of its impact on a high profile murder case? My deadline is EOD Monday, 9/11. I'm assuming that's end of day. Brian Barrera, a Plymouth elder law attorney, just posted a blog asserting that Morrissey's video statement may have violated Rule of Professional Conduct 3.8, which addresses the conduct of prosecutors. If DA Morrissey is not available for an interview, does he have any statement in response to claims that his video statement may have violated ethical rules? Well, stop. All right, Morrissey to Tully. FYI, then it's from Traub to Beeland. Link is in the Yo, did you guys know that Josh Levy is that Sullivan sister's boyfriend? What's her name? Not the one that has the kid with Pat Rogers, the other one. Her boyfriend is Josh Levy. Okay. Rules 3.6 and 3.8 are very clear that information contained in public documents is not out of bounds and that this rule does not preclude a lawyer from replying to charges of misconduct publicly made against him. Even so, the only statement the district attorney made about the defendant in this case was the subject of that murder indictment enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. Well, that's not how she was treated. Even so, the only statement the district attorney made about the defendant in this case was this: the subject of that murder indictment enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. That is it. Curtailing the intimidation of witnesses in pending murder case is, in the language of 3.8, a legitimate law enforcement purpose. Stupid hairs on my face. Okay. Patrick Murphy to David Traub. Hello, I am writing. Oh, okay, that's the same thing. Lally to O'Hara. Thank you very much, Kevin. If you could also send along a GPX or KML file of the data from your mapping software, that would be much appreciated. Turn the heater on. My feet are cold. If you could send along a GPX or KML file of the data from your mapping software, that would be very much appreciated. And then O'Hara writes Lally back and he says, "Good morning. I have attached a copy of our daily admin journal and the roster of members who responded. There are no other reports or handwritten notes associated with this case. At the request of Sergeant Buchanan, I have also attached the following items: the cruiser geotab of the first responding members, myself and Trooper Bousselet, and the time-stamped alerts sent out to the team requesting a response. The items recovered were marked by Sergeant Louise using a handheld Garmin GPS map 64 whatever. That data was then uploaded to our mapping software and is shown in the maps previously provided. As standing operating procedure, previous tracks and waypoints are cleared prior to any new search." So that's the same thing I fucking just read. You know how like the emails they fucking I did not take photos. The items recovered. I received a request from this defendant's attorney. Okay. He's got a screenshot of a woman named Jan Davis. And she says, "Good morning. I hope whoever is reading this finds you well. I am a retired public educator who has been following the Karen Reed case. Please keep reading. I am not a conspiracy theorist, just a teacher who was trained at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University." Woohoo! Good for her. "To teach media literacy at the high school level. Yesterday, the gentleman who calls himself Turtle Boy had another post, a video of him harassing an employee of D&E Subs owned by Canton's select person, Chris Albert. The young man, like many of us in Canton, lashed out verbally to him using inappropriate language. TB continued to harass him, continued to film the verbal altercation with his cell phone. This incident is a violation of Mass General Law 265-43A, harassment via electronic device. That's assault. I felt you should know. Prior to this incident, his followers verbally harassed me, a senior citizen aged 74. Oh, okay. As I walked home from the train station to my apartment at Hagen Court on Friday, September 15th, as they sat in front of the same business location. I was coming home from a doctor's appointment as I am physically very ill. I posted the video publicly on my Facebook profile. It has since been taken down. However, the link to the video is still on the post and can be retrieved from Facebook using the form they have online for law enforcement agencies. On the posts are links to two online news stories, one similar to him, showing what a vulgar, hateful person he is. Ain't that the damn truth? Please remove this gentleman and his followers from Canton. It's hard to, do that, but they should not be allowed to video or record with their electronic devices citizens of the town with intent to libel, harass, or intimidate for fun. So, Coppenrath, Leonard to Brian Tully, receive this now. Receive this now. Now need data. And then Cert Discovery, O'Hara, good morning. I've attached the copy of, regarding the follow-up discovery request. I received a request from, read that. From Gilbert Saucedo. To Norfolk Clerk's Office, Alan Jack, a shit ton of people. Hello, please find attached for filing today the affidavit from Skip Polenic in support of examination of hair related to the Karen Reed matter. Jesus Christ. And then there's a freaking affidavit or whatever. A bunch of bullshit. All right. And this is freaking resumes. Freaking all these people. Yeah. Do these people sleep? The fuck? All this shit. Who the fuck has time to do all this? Seriously? Wow. It's like fucking Jed Welcher. He ain't even a doctor. So from, let's see what this one is. Lally to Tully. DNA testing report. Good afternoon. Please see attached DNA. Report 3 and 4 for case. Oh, that's a new case number. 22. I can't believe I'm still fucking up, and I don't even feel tired. Fucking dogs are passed out though. All right, here we go. DNA testing report. Sample from Stain D sneaker. Orange t-shirt, long sleeve. How many fucking times, yo? Sample from Stain on left orange t-shirt. These fucking people, yo. Sample from Stain D on right instep of sneaker, J.O. No upload. Suitable for comparison, no. Profile quality and or complexity. The remaining biological evidence for the items tested will... Stop doing that, ducky. The remaining biological evidence for the items tested will be retained indefinitely. You can sit here, Mr. Ducky. Don't fall over, you asshole. Stay there. He's too squiggly. Okay. The remaining biological evidence for the items tested will be retained indefinitely at the laboratory. With the appropriate approval, the biological material and DNA extract was consumed during analysis for the following items. Number 7-3.1. With the appropriate approval, the biological material was consumed during analysis. However, DNA extract does remain for the following items. STI mix. What are the items? This shit is like Spanglish to me. All right, Lally to Colleen Crawford. Okay, what did she want? Colleen, please find attached videos from the defendant's parents' residence in Dayton. Could you add these to the file for this case and please put them onto a disk for me? Absolutely no rush. Dear Mr. Lally, this is, I guess you got it from, so Lally to David Yannetti. Hello, David. Regarding the Dighton video, you are absolutely correct in that there was a Rule 17 motion directed to alram.com that was allowed without objection. Whatever materials are produced would be produced to the court, and certainly both parties would have access to those materials. That's a bunch of crock. Furthermore, I would certainly copy whatever responsive materials are produced and forward them to you all. I hate that. Freaking what's his face says that, Turtle Boy. However, I was referring to it in the PTC report and was a separate motion to compel and produce the Dighton video directed to the defense, which was also allowed without objection on 9/15/23, with a corresponding docket entry of 9/27/23. As to the third-party culprit defense information, I am aware that you are not required to produce that specifically at this time, and we can address that in a separate motion to compel reciprocal discovery under Rule 14. Once I am able to file a certificate of discovery regarding the CW's discovery obligations. So I have removed that piece but reinserted the sentence addressing the Dighton video. Feel free to note whatever objections you have to that or place it in the unresolved discovery issues section. If you prefer, please return it to me and I will file it with the court. Thank you, Adam. Hi, Adam. Thanks for that. We are essentially in agreement, except for the entries you added under the section titled, "The defendant agrees to provide the Commonwealth with the following materials that have not yet been provided." We object to both of your additions. Regarding any surveillance video from the Dighton residence, our obligations are to provide you with notice of any tangible or physical evidence that we seek to introduce at trial. To the extent that such surveillance video falls under that umbrella, we will certainly provide you with a copy. I would note, however, that you have already successfully moved without objection from the defense for the production of such video from alarm.com. Please be advised that to the extent that you are able to obtain such video, we are formally requesting that you provide us with a copy, whether you intend to offer it at trial or not. That is the distinction between the respective discovery obligations of the Commonwealth and the defendant, as you know. In any case, we do not agree that including this stipulation in a pretrial conference report is necessary or proper. If you believe you need further protection, you are certainly free to file any motion before the court pursuant to Rule 14 or Rule 17. That is why I have removed your language. Regarding your request for all information relevant to the defendant's third-party culprit defense, we object. Please note at the outset that we were under no obligation to provide you with notice of a potential third-party culprit defense, as it does not fall under the required notice provisions of Mass Rule of Criminal Procedures 14b1 through 4. We are formally notifying you, likely at no surprise to you, as a courtesy and out of an abundance of caution. We will therefore not be identifying any evidence we may use to support that defense. That is why I removed the language. Assuming you are okay with the modified PTC report attached, please either file it with the court or notify me so that I will file it. If you would like to discuss these issues further, please feel free to reply here or give me a call. That was good old Yanetti to Lally. And then we got Lally sending some attachments. And then from Crawford to Lally. All set, Adam. Feel free to stop by my office to pick up your disc copy. And then Dear Mr. Lally, Elizabeth Little to Lally, pursuant to the court's order, please find the Dighton videos. Let's see. From Lally to Yanetti regarding the Karen PTC report. Hello, David. Excuse me, I got a burp. Regarding the Dighton video. Again, you are absolutely correct in that there was a Rule 17 motion directed to alarm.com that was allowed without objection. Whatever materials are produced would be produced to the court and certainly both parties. He's a liar. They would have access to those materials. Furthermore, I would certainly copy whatever responsive materials are produced and forward them to you all. However, what I was referring to in the PTC report was a separate motion to compel and produce the Dighton video directed to the defense, which was also allowed without objection on 9/15/23, with a corresponding docket entry of 9/27/23. As to the third-party culprit defense information, I am aware that you are not required to produce that specifically at this time, and we can fucking hairs in my face, and we can address that in a separate motion to compel reciprocal discovery under Rule 14. Once I am able to file a certificate of discovery regarding the CW's discovery obligations. So I have removed that piece, but reinserted the sentence addressing the Dighton video. See what I mean? Like I have removed that piece, but reinserted the sentence addressing the Dighton video. Feel free to note whatever objections you have to that, or place it in the unresolved discovery issues section if you prefer. Please return it to me and I will file it with the court. From Dave Yannetti to Lally. Am I? Oh, yeah, that's the same freaking. Let's see. Okay, from Lally to McLaughlin. Thank you, Laura. And again, outstanding job on that opposition. And then so McLaughlin emails Lally back and says, attach. Please find Justice Kafker's decision regarding Karen Reed's appeal to the SJC single justice. The defendant's appeal was based on Judge Canone's denial of Rule 17 motions and requests for evidentiary hearing. Justice Kafker denied a defendant's request for evidentiary hearing and Brian Albert's cell phone records, agreeing that the request was a fishing expedition. Justice Kafker, however, allowed the Rule 17 motion for Jennifer McCabe's cell phone records, limited to 24 hours. I believe these were already provided to the defense based on McCabe's prior consent, but this decision allows for call records, call detail records, SMS, text, and MMS records and data maintained by Verizon for 24 hours around murder. So now it's what? Yeah, fuck you. Alright, so Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. Memorandum of decision has been indicted for murder. Oh, that's 227 bullshit. There's something good with I want to find something with Turtle Boy. Wait, and then hold on. There's like an email that addresses him specifically. And then I want to try to go to bed. Alright, where is it? Yeah, like I said, I was just watching The Boys. And Eddie O'Brien's innocent. That's my take on that one. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. It's like Kyle Shockey freaking posted it today, and I didn't really get to read it. Where is it? Okay, here's email from Paul Coxiofsky, and it was sent to Michael Morrissey, Beeland, DeZoglio, Maura Healy. What? Karen Reed case. This is what Olivia wrote. Good morning, everyone. Just a friendly reminder that the Commonwealth wants you to believe that Karen Reed's rear tail light, made from nearly bulletproof polycarbonate, shattered into 35 pieces. I thought it was 47, from striking John O'Keefe, who they're also claiming just stood there in the road, presumably watching Karen Reed pull ahead 65 feet and shift to reverse. What the fuck, Olivia? I hate that bitch. I really do. Like, she really wrote. From Aiden Canny on Twitter. Honestly, the state needs to be better. Normally, when someone is charged with witness intimidation, they get summons in the mail. But apparently, I'm such a bad boy that Brian Tully told the court I was a flight risk who needed an arrest warrant. Meanwhile, I have two kids, a house, and do a YouTube out of my basement. What does that matter? You have two kids. And I don't give a fuck about your two kids. Shit. Let's see, who's this letter? This one from? Paul Siafi. In most courtrooms, a DA lying on the record and to the judge like this about evidence would result in, at the very least, an acknowledgement by the judge. That's prosecutorial misconduct to the nth degree. Apparently, though, Judge Beverly Canone takes no issue with DAs lying to her or defendants. Flip through DA Adam Lally at the May 3rd, 2023 motion hearing and doubling down on misrepresentations he prior made to the court in February to defense attorney Liz Little. At the September 15th, 2023 hearing, and calls out Lally's deceit to the court. Perhaps the most remarkable part about this all is how unbothered Judge Beverly Canone is by this revelation. It becomes increasingly more difficult for members of the public to see a judge like this as impartial when she fails to assert her authority for one side. The state's handling of the Karen Reed case is very upsetting to me. As a constituent of the state of Massachusetts, I am very worried about the witch hunt on people exposing the truth. I have seen enough instances of emboldened law enforcement using their power to imprison innocent people to know this needs to be looked at from all angles. Why was the house not searched? Why are you not grabbing reporters' phones and are not why are you grabbing reporters' phones and not people of at the scene of the crime? 90% of these cases go wrong because of police incompetency or cover up. Why is this incompetency happening? The Commonwealth is alleging that Aiden made $5 million off the Karen Reed story as part of his master plan to intimidate witnesses, enrich himself, and get the case dropped. The prosecutor, who was reprimanded in 2016 for incompetence, Googled his name and found a rugby player worth that much with the same name. The charging documents left out critical quotes and sentences Aiden says on his live show in order to represent him as a dangerous man trying to silence witnesses. P.S. I am fully aware you may go after me and my family because I dared to speak up, and that is very scary. Report. These questions have been posed. All right. From Bulldog Edwatch to Nicholas Barrows. Hello, Officer Barrows. I am conducting research into murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe and was hoping you could be of assistance. I recently came across your name via a police report that has been ubiquitous on social media this past weekend. The report is in reference to a car which was towed from Dighton to the Canton Police Station on January 29th, 2022. The car was owned by a woman named Karen Reed, and you're listed as the author of that report. Based on the information floating all over social media, you entered this report at 1843 and modified it at 1903. The ID number for both the reentry and the modification was 5820. The reference number for this report appears to be 22 33 OF. Reference of the report was not fully legible. Numerous questions have been posted in regards to your report, and personally, I have many of those same questions, as well as some additional inquiries. If you are on patrol in the 578 cruiser, how do the Mass State Police reach you by phone? Normally, Mass State Police detectives would call the local police station and speak to the officer in charge or detective in charge, not a patrolman in a cruiser on his personal cell phone. Statewide, the Mass State Police maintains a very exclusive list of tow contractors they use 24/7. D Troop definitely has a reliable tow company covering Dighton. Why then Mass State Police asked the Dighton PD to call the tow, especially in a homicide case? Your shift, based on your own report, was scheduled to end at 16 o'clock. Why were you still modifying a short report 3 hours later? Did you file an overtime slip? Your report never says you have observed damage. You say it had damage, never saying how you know this. What part of your report was actually modified? Was it only the very last sentence? Is there a way to see a copy of the original report? You state in your report that the vehicle had damage to the right rear taillight. However, there were no photos taken by yourself or the Mass State Police of this damage. Also, the tow truck company has stated there was no visible damage. This seems rather odd. Additionally, video from the scene of the tow does not reflect any visible damage to that taillight. As you may already be aware, this popular case has so many oddities in all aspects. It really seems like quite a coincidence that the time your modified report was entered was right around the exact time the Mass State Police CERT team claimed to have found pieces of red taillight in the snow outside of 34 Fairview. You may already be aware of this, but recently the town of Canton was ordered to undergo an independent audit of their police department and select board. The primary vehicle for that has been some bizarre investigation into the murder of John O'Keefe. Who the fuck is Bulldog Edwatch? Are you bullying Officer Barrows? Somebody named David Holton messaged Mike Morrissey and said, as you and your team prepare for the March trial, I was just looking at a link my neighbor copied to me. I have no personal connection with this, but as I read and saw the image showing the marks on Officer John O'Keefe's arm, which the defense may associate with the Albert German Shepherd, I asked myself, are those marks made by a steel-studded snow tire? What? Did Reed's Lexus have steel-studded tires that night? Is that a fucking joke? Do the marks match those studs? Tire studs would not deeply puncture. I read a dog's front teeth will grab and compress your tissue, and their smaller teeth can also tear your skin. The result is an open, jagged wound. The parallel marks on John O'Keefe's arm, to my thinking, that magnitude would be jagged, deeper, and show tearing. Flesh and tissue would be pulled out or apart, and bruising would be different. Also, a bite would show evidence of bottom as well as small. It did. It fucking did. All right, I'm tired. I'm going to try to go to bed. It's almost 2 o'clock. I'll get back on tomorrow. I forget what I scheduled. I don't know if it was just on or whatever. But I'm done. Good night, everybody.